So suppose we have another question in our basic programming, like we have to take two inputs of a number and we have to find which is the greatest of the number, right? So we can write something as public class. Okay, we are taking two inputs of a number, right? So int n1, int n. So two integer numbers we are taking and both we are storing in a variable n1 and n2. We have to check which is greater. So we can use if else condition. We can write if n1 is greater than n2, then we can print what? Then we can print greatest equals to plus n1. Else, if this condition is false, if this condition is false, it means else it will go. It means n2 is greatest. It means n2 is greatest, right? So this is how you could solve it easily by using if else condition. So wherever a conditioning is involved, you will use if else conditions, right? There is also a better way by using ternary operator. By using ternary operator also you can solve this question. How you can solve? See, two inputs you took n1 and n2, and then you can simply write. You know how ternary operator works. What happens if the condition is true? The first is the answer. If the condition is false, the next is the answer. So n1 is greater than n2. Condition is true, n1 will be the answer. Correct? So you can print it like that as well. Cool. You can also put your full line here. This whole line also you can put here. No issues. Okay. So this was how we could find greatest into two integers. Now suppose they are asking find the greatest among three integers. Okay. So now suppose they are asking you to take three inputs. Okay. So again you will declare your class. Again you will take the input, right? So I'm just solving the direct final question. So what it would be? It would be something like this. You will write a class name, public class greatest, public static void main, and you are taking input by a functional argument. So you are taking direct input. So three integers this time you're taking. So you can take n, you can take a, you can take b, and you can take c. How many inputs? That many int you will have to write. You cannot ignore. You cannot write all at once. Okay. Now what we are doing? Now we have to check which is the greatest among the three. So suppose my first condition is what? I am thinking that if a is greatest, given that none are equal. Okay, none are equal. We are not considering that all three numbers are equal. Okay, then we can proceed. What we can say, if my a is greater than b, and my a has to be greater than c also, right? Only then what will happen? Only then we can perfectly say that a is greatest. Cool. What can be the other condition? Else if the other condition can be if b is greater than a and b is greater than c, then we can say that greatest is what? Then greatest is b. Now try to understand one thing. Suppose this condition is failing, that means a is also not greater. Suppose this condition also failing, that means b is also not greater. Then of course, so we'll have to just write else. No need to give condition. Now of course the greatest will be what? The greatest will be c. So this is how you can compile an if else program into this kind of question. Okay. So what did we have? We had two numbers. Suppose we had three numbers, right? We had three numbers. So what did we check? We checked if a is greater than b. Yes, it is. Yes, it is greater than b. A is greater than b. Yes. Okay. So this is a, b, and c. But a is not greater than c. So this condition will become false. Why? Because this is an AND operator. In AND, both the condition has to be true. Then only it will go inside the loop, right? Then again, this condition will become false. And finally, both the condition became false, which means that c was the greatest. So c became greatest. Okay. So this is how you can find greatest of a number. So these are some small basic concepts that we are trying to inculcate. Okay. Similarly, try to solve one question for lowest of three numbers, the smallest of the three numbers, minimum of the three numbers. Okay. Try to solve this by yourself.